My name is Keon, and the day my grandfather's will was read should have been about honoring his memory. Instead, it became the day I realized my older brother Derek had been playing a long game I never saw coming. "This is bullshit," I muttered as the estate attorney, Mr. Harrison, cleared his throat. "The last will and testament of Robert Mitchell," Mr. Harrison began, adjusting his glasses. "I leave my entire estate, including the family home at 47 Maple Drive, all financial assets totaling approximately $2.3 million, and my business holdings to my beloved grandson, Derek Mitchell." I felt like I'd been punched. "What? That can't be right." Derek leaned back in his chair, barely hiding his smirk. "Grandpa knew who really cared about him, little brother." "You're lying," I said. "Grandpa always said he'd split everything evenly between us." "Well, apparently he changed his mind," Derek replied smoothly. "Maybe if you'd visited more instead of being too busy with your important teaching job." My mom, Linda, sat perfectly still beside me. Her face was pale, but her eyes were sharp. "Mr. Harrison," she said quietly, "when was this will dated?" "March 15th of this year, Mrs. Mitchell. Just 3 months before Mr. Mitchell's passing." "And the previous will?" she asked. Mr. Harrison shuffled papers. "There was one from 2019 that split the estate evenly between both grandsons, but this newer version supersedes it." Derek stood up, stretching. "Well, this has been enlightening. Keon, I'm sure you understand. Grandpa and I had a special bond." "You barely visited him," I shot back, standing too. "I was there every week. We played chess. I helped with his medications. And yet, here we are," Derek interrupted. "The will is clear. Everything's mine." "Mr. Harrison, can I see that document?" I asked. "I'm afraid not," the attorney replied. "It's being filed with probate. You'll receive copies through the legal process." "How convenient," I said, glaring at Derek. Derek smiled. "Don't be bitter, Keon. It's not a good look on you." "We're not done here," I warned. "Actually, we are," Derek said, heading for the door. "Enjoy your teacher salary, little brother. I'll think of you while I'm living in Grandpa's mansion." After everyone else left, Mom touched my arm. "Keon, wait in the parking lot, 5 minutes." "Mom, what?" "Just trust me," she whispered. 5 minutes later, she appeared beside my car, glancing around nervously. She pulled a manila envelope from her purse. "Your grandfather gave me this 2 weeks before he died," she said. "He told me, 'Linda, if anything happens to me, if Derek tries anything, give this to Keon.'" My hands shook as I took it. "What is it?" "Everything," she replied. "Audio recordings, documents, text messages. Your grandfather suspected Derek was manipulating him. He started documenting everything in his final months." "Why didn't you show this to Mr. Harrison?" "Because I wanted to see Derek's reaction first," Mom said, her voice hard. "I wanted to confirm he was actually going through with this fraud. Now we have him." "What do? We call Sarah Chen," Mom said, referring to the family lawyer who'd handled my grandfather's affairs for decades. "And then we destroy your brother." I opened the envelope slightly. Inside were audio files on a USB drive, photocopies of documents, and a handwritten letter in Grandpa's shaky handwriting. "He knew," I whispered. "He knew Derek forged that new will," Mom confirmed. "And now we're going to prove it." The next morning, I sat in Sarah Chen's office with Mom beside me. Sarah, a sharp woman in her 50s, spread the envelope's contents across her desk. "This is explosive," Sarah said, examining a document. "This is a photocopy of what appears to be the forged will, with Derek's handwriting analysis notes your grandfather made." "Can you explain what we're looking at?" I asked. Sarah picked up a sheet. "Your grandfather was meticulous. He documented 3 separate occasions when Derek visited him alone. Look at this. It's dated March 10th, 5 days before the supposed new will was signed." She pressed play on her computer. Grandpa's frail voice filled the room. "Derek came by today. He brought papers for me to sign, said they were medical power of attorney updates. But I saw the header. It said, 'Last Will and Testament.' When I questioned him, he got angry." Derek's voice came through next, sharp and aggressive. "Just sign it, Grandpa. You're confused. This is for your own good." "I don't want to cut Keon out," Grandpa protested weakly. "That's not right." "Keon doesn't care about you like I do," Derek replied. When's the last time he actually did anything useful? I'm here, aren't I? I'm the one making sure you're taken care of. But the house, the money, should go to someone who appreciates it, Derek interrupted. Someone who's been loyal. That's me, Grandpa. Just me. The recording ended. I felt sick. There's more, Sarah said, pulling up another file. Your grandfather called me on March 12th. Listen to this. Sarah's own voice came through. Mr. Mitchell, you sound distressed. What's wrong? Derek is trying to trick me, Grandpa said. He keeps bringing documents, pressuring me to sign. He says Kian doesn't love me, that Kian only visits out of obligation. But I know that's not true. Kian is a good boy. He cares. Did you sign anything? Sarah asked on the recording. I signed something on March 10th, but I was dizzy from my medication. Derek said it was just healthcare paperwork, but I think it was more. Sarah, I need you to know, if anything happens, if there's a new will after this call, it wasn't my choice. Derek is forcing this. I'll note this conversation in your file, Sarah assured him. And Mr. Mitchell, I'm recommending we involve Adult Protective Services. No, Grandpa said quickly. He's still my grandson. I just need insurance. If Derek tries to claim everything, make sure Kian knows the truth. Promise me, Sarah. I promise, Sarah replied. Back in the present, Sarah closed her laptop. I documented everything per his request, but I wasn't named as the executor, so I couldn't attend the will reading. Mr. Harrison doesn't know any of this. So Derek did forge it, Mom said. More than that, Sarah replied, pulling out another document. This is a toxicology report from the hospital. Your grandfather had 3 times the normal dose of his sedatives in his system on March 15th, the day that fraudulent will was allegedly signed. Derek drugged him? I asked, horrified. The medical examiner didn't flag it because sedative overdoses are common in elderly patients. They forget they've already taken their pills, Sarah explained. But combined with this evidence, it suggests Derek deliberately over-medicated your grandfather to make him compliant. Mom gripped my hand. What's our next step? We file a petition to contest the will immediately, Sarah said. Then we take this evidence to the district attorney. What Derek did isn't just civil fraud, it's elder abuse, forgery, and potentially attempted murder given the overdose. Will it work? I asked. Sarah smiled grimly. Derek is arrogant. He thinks he's untouchable. That's his weakness. We're going to use it against him. I also want to hire a private investigator, I said. If Derek did this, I want to know if there's more. Financial records, communications, anything that shows premeditation. I know someone, Sarah said. Marcus Webb. He specializes in estate fraud. I'll have him here tomorrow. What should we do in the meantime? I asked. Act normal, Sarah advised. Don't confront Derek. Don't let him know we're building a case. The element of surprise is crucial. That's going to be hard, Mom admitted. I want to call him right now and tell him what a monster he is. I understand, Sarah said. But patience wins this game. Let Derek think he's gotten away with it. Let him get comfortable, maybe even careless. And Derek doesn't suspect anything? Mom asked. Not yet, Sarah replied. He thinks he won. Let him think that a little longer while we build our case. 2 weeks later, Marcus Webb sat across from me in a coffee shop, sliding a thick folder across the table. Your brother is an idiot, Marcus said bluntly. He didn't even try to hide his tracks. What did you find? I asked. 6 months before your grandfather's death, Derek opened a credit card in your grandfather's name, Marcus explained. He racked up $80,000 in charges. Luxury vacations, a new car, designer clothes. He was counting on inheriting everything to pay it off. That's credit card fraud, I said. It gets better, Marcus continued. I found text messages between Derek and his girlfriend, Ashley. Read these. He showed me his phone. The messages were dated March 8th. Derek, old man's almost gone. Just need to update the will. Ashley, are you sure Kian won't fight this? Derek, Kian's a pushover. Besides, once it's done, there's nothing he can do. I'll have the house, the money, everything. Ashley, what if he lawyers up? Derek, with what money? He's a broke teacher. By the time he figures anything out, I'll have liquidated everything and we'll be in the Bahamas. I felt rage building. He was planning this for months. Actually, longer, Marcus said. I found records going back a year. Derek was researching how to change a will, getting elderly relatives to sign documents, and statute of limitations on inheritance fraud. His search history is a prosecutor's dream. We have enough? I asked. More than enough, Marcus confirmed. I've already contacted Detective Rodriguez with the Financial Crimes Unit. She wants to meet with you, your mother, and Sarah tomorrow morning. The meeting with Detective Rodriguez was swift. She reviewed everything: the recordings, the forged will, the credit card fraud, the text messages, the search history. This is slam dunk, Detective Rodriguez said. I'm issuing an arrest warrant today. We'll also freeze all of your grandfather's assets so Derek can't move anything. When will you arrest him? Mom asked. Tonight, Rodriguez replied. I want to catch him off guard. Mr. Mitchell, Keon, would you like to be there? Absolutely, I said. Good, Rodriguez said. I want Derek to see that his brother brought him down. Sometimes that's the best justice. That evening, I watched from Detective Rodriguez's unmarked car as squad cars pulled up to Derek's apartment. He answered the door in a bathrobe, wine glass in hand. Derek Mitchell, Detective Rodriguez said, approaching him. Yeah, what's this about? Derek asked, annoyed. You're under arrest for elder abuse, forgery, credit card fraud, and inheritance fraud, she said, producing handcuffs. You have the right to remain silent. Wait, what? This is insane, Derek shouted. I didn't do anything. Tell it to the judge, Rodriguez said, cuffing him. We have recordings, documents, text messages, financial records, and witness testimony. You systematically drugged and manipulated your grandfather to steal his estate. Derek's eyes found me standing by the car. Keon, you did this? No, I called back. You did this. Grandpa documented everything. He knew what you were doing and he made sure I'd find out. You can't prove anything, Derek yelled as officers led him to the squad car. We already have, I replied. Enjoy prison, brother. This is all a misunderstanding, Derek screamed. Keon, tell them Grandpa wanted me to have everything. The recordings say otherwise, I said coldly. Grandpa's own voice describes exactly how you manipulated him, how you drugged him, how you forced him to sign papers while he was barely conscious. You're lying, Derek spat. The evidence doesn't lie, Detective Rodriguez interjected. And neither did your internet search history. How to forge a signature isn't a great look, Mr. Mitchell. Derek's face went pale as they pushed him into the squad car. The trial took 4 months. Derek's attorney tried everything, claiming Grandpa was mentally incompetent, arguing the recordings were inadmissible, suggesting I had manipulated the evidence. None of it worked. The jury heard Grandpa's voice describing Derek's manipulation. They saw the fraudulent credit card statements. They reviewed the text messages planning the scheme. They heard testimony from Sarah Chen about Grandpa's final phone call. Most damning was the handwriting analysis. 3 experts confirmed the signature on the March 15th. Will didn't match Grandpa's writing from that period. Derek had traced an old signature and hoped no one would notice. On all counts, we find the defendant guilty, the jury foreman announced. Derek's face went white. His girlfriend Ashley, subpoenaed as a witness, had already taken a plea deal and testified against him. She got probation. Derek got 7 years in state prison, but the criminal trial was only part of it. The probate court invalidated the fraudulent will and reinstated the 2019 version. The estate was split evenly between Derek and me, except Derek's half was immediately seized to pay restitution for the credit card fraud, legal fees, and damages for elder abuse. Grandpa's house, his business holdings, and the majority of his assets came to me. Derek got nothing except a prison sentence and a felony record. I stood in Grandpa's house 6 months after the verdict, boxing up his belongings. Mom was helping me sort through old photos. He'd be proud of you, Mom said softly. I just did what was right, I replied. Derek called yesterday, she added, from prison. He wanted to apologize, asked if we could visit. What did you tell him? I told him I have 1 son now, Mom said firmly. Derek made his choices. He drugged his own grandfather, forged legal documents, and tried to steal everything. There's no coming back from that. Good, I said. He doesn't deserve forgiveness. He actually cried on the phone, Mom continued. Said he was sorry, that he made mistakes, that he wants another chance. 7 years in prison and he still doesn't get it, I replied. This wasn't a mistake. It was a calculated plan to steal Grandpa's entire estate. He researched it for a year, drugged an elderly man, forged legal documents, and committed fraud. Those aren't mistakes. Those are crimes. I know, Mom agreed. I just wanted you to know he tried. And I want you to know I don't care, I said. Derek chose greed over family. He chose money over Grandpa's well-being. He gets to live with those choices now. The prosecutor told me Derek is trying to appeal, Mom continued. Claims he was under stress, that he made mistakes. 7 years isn't enough for what he did, I replied. But it's justice, and that's what Grandpa wanted, not revenge, but real accountability. I found one of Grandpa's chess sets in the closet, the one we'd used every week. He'd been teaching me strategy, patience, thinking 3 moves ahead. Turned out he'd been playing the long game himself, documenting Derek's fraud, preparing evidence, making sure the truth would come out. Grandpa knew Derek couldn't be trusted, I said. That's why he gave you that envelope. He knew Derek would try something after he died, and he made sure we had everything we needed to stop him. Mom hugged me. You got justice for him, Kian. That's what matters. I kept the chess set. Every time I look at it, I remember that real strength isn't about getting even. It's about standing up for what's right, documenting everything, and trusting the legal system to do its job. Derek thought he was smarter than everyone else. He thought Grandpa was too weak to fight back, that I was too naive to see what was happening, that he could manipulate his way to $2.3 million. Instead, he's in prison. His reputation is destroyed, and he lost everything. Sometimes the best revenge is simply letting someone face the consequences of their own actions. Derek destroyed himself. I just made sure everyone could see it. Have you ever had a family member try to manipulate an inheritance or take advantage of an elderly relative? What would you do if you discovered someone was forging documents to steal from your family? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.